Information is right there on the internet. Free nation, so you don't know what you're gonna get. Go Wikipedia! It's really important to know what to believe. You gotta know where and why and what to read. Cite your information and check it twice, 'cause getting it wrong will come at a price.
All this really modern information like Wikipedia and even information posted on YouTube and sites like that all ties back into the First Amendment, how it's constitutionally protected and supported. So I think it was a valuable experience.
It's important because we learn about different news and medias, and like we learn about credible sources and what's real and not real.
I learned basically not to trust everything that you read.
I think that the impression that the journalists made on me was that not everything could be trusted.
Before, I was confused about reporters. I didn't know what was their job until I put myself in their shoes.
They have to make sure that it came from a reliable source because it prints out every day, and you have to make sure that millions of people aren't reading the wrong thing and believing it.
Well, the main lesson that I took away from the News Literacy Project was to always take information and news with a grain of salt. It's really important to critically analyze news and information to make sure that it's credible and unbiased.
You learn that you should always go to more than one source.
And I'm also going to look for a lot of expert sources and eyewitness news.
When I check my email now, it's like I get the gossip and everything else that everyone's saying about the world now, and it's like, okay, cool, but were you there? Do you really know about it, or did you just get that from someone else?
The importance of the First Amendment, the problems that we face, especially my generation, with the growth of the internet and online newspapers and websites and blogs and things like that. So those were kind of two of the most important things that I've learned, and I've kind of applied them to my own life and how I research things and how I perceive the news. So that's really been important to me, and I think I've learned a lot.
When we first brought the program in the first day, a lot of my students said, "What are we doing?" When I told them we're switching things up with the curriculum, they said, "That sounds boring. What do you mean, journalists, writing?" But once the program started and they got to see the fun side of it, or the entire side of it, excuse me, as far as you being able to investigate, checking out sources, looking at things they come across every day, they bought into it quickly.
They use the internet so much these days that there's so much they need to know about what's good source, how to get their news, the different options for getting news.
3 weeks ago, a lot of my students didn't know what to look for in a newspaper article or didn't know what Google actually did, and they know that now, and I can build on that in class from here on out to the end of the year, and they'll build on it throughout high school.
When students are not only engaged, working with small groups, and then sharing their final product with the entire class, re-emphasizing, teaching, reteaching the key concepts, it doesn't get any better.
The United States of America is the American dream. The framers made an amendment that granted free speech, free speech. But don't you fall